Today's topic is something that is so prevalent, and like I can't understand why, but at the same time, simultaneously, I obviously understand why. Reboots and nostalgia and updated castings of famous characters for the said reboots. Uh, Nostalgia is, yo, it's getting out of hand now, eh? I recently watched Ready Player One, and there's so many pop culture references crammed into such a small space. And I actually can't believe that we are such a nostalgia heavy culture these days, but it's because we reward the big studios by consuming the nostalgia heavy content and not supporting things that are new and fresh and exciting. So it's no use we cry foul and say, "Oh, I'm so sick and tired of the reboots and reboots of reboots." But then you go watch the movie. Of course, they're gonna make more and make more and make more the whole time. So yeah, it's a bit irritating. Um, yeah, basically the problem is not, like I just said, the problem is not the reboots. The problem is we are rewarding the unoriginality of rebooting everything and slightly changing old concepts, and we are not rewarding originality, and that is why there's such a spate of reboots. And the other thing that people are also stressing about is raging at casting for these reboots, raging about when a character who was previously Caucasian is now magically not Caucasian anymore, and raging when a character that was male is no longer male and is now female. And this is the problem that reboots bring, because the older properties that are being rebooted are coming from a time when Caucasian male was like full stop. It's just that. If it's a hero, Caucasian male. If it's a bad guy, Caucasian male. If it's the side quests and the supporting characters, Caucasian male. And now the problem with rebooting everything is entertainment has now become aware that not everyone is Caucasian males. Shock, horror, disbelief. And now they are, because they are rebooting everything the whole time and they're not creating new stuff, they have to now. That's why inclusion is such a big part of something. If my daughter sees a program and it can be a normal program with like normal humans in it, it can be animated, it can be things that aren't even human, it can be dogs or anthropomorphic cars, anything. If there is not a girl present in the cast, she will stress. She'll be like, "No, I don't want to watch this. There's no girl." And if ever you don't understand representation and inclusion, you immediately understand it when you see someone like that immediately feel out of place and immediately feel aggrieved without even knowing why they're really feeling aggrieved, because they can't see someone that looks like them, they can't see a girl, they can't see a person that resembles them in the thing that they're watching. So that long standing exposure to entertainment where only a certain type of person is the hero and the protagonist has a psychological effect on you. If you grow up consuming that sort of media, you subliminally start to, you can't picture yourself as the hero if you are not that archetype, because you aren't exposed to it. So kudos to everyone in the world that is including different faces, different races, different sexes, different gender different You know what I mean? Lesbian, gay people. You have, that's how the world is comprised. So you can't consume programming that doesn't have that, because it's not a reflection of what is really happening in the world. So people who are going on about the casting decisions and the type of characters that are now springing up can go fly a kite, because we all know who that certain type of group of people are that are complaining. So look, there wouldn't be a problem to reboot and recast roles if the source material, if we weren't stealing from source material from 19 Futsak. So movies like Get Out and newish movies like that slip through the cracks of all the reboots and things like that, and show that an original idea can be profitable, that a cast that isn't only blonde, blue-eyed people can be successful. Things like that are good, because slowly you will get to a place where originality will be rewarded again. It's the same thing in the, oh, don't get me started on the music industry. That is a whole other kettle of fish. But the music industry is also the same absolute crap. That is why, if you watch any movie these days, there's so much old music, like old rock music, because originality and rock bands of today are not rewarded by being original, because they're only playing absolute hogwash on radio. Um, and you can't tell me that rock and roll or rock music like that is dead, because it's not. It's not dead in America, and it's not dead in South Africa. It's just the scene is dead. I play in a band that plays rock music. The scene is so dead, because people are just rewarding crap that you hear on the radio by playing it on the radio. And bands, I'm not being sour because my band isn't on the radio or things like that, because it's not only my band. There are so many awesome bands that play on the really crappy scene in the Western Cape. And when you sit there and you listen to the bands play, you're like, how are these guys not bigger? But it's because the music industry is so confaculated that it just stays to these small sort of niche settings. So yeah, it's the entertainment industry as a whole is in a bit of a weird space, where there are so many reboots and nostalgia peddling and things like that. And I cannot wait until more diverse things are rewarded, and people go watch these newer things. Like Black Panther was super successful. Love Black Panther. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was cool to see an all black cast do such amazing things. But like someone who is in the South African film industry said, South African movies will never even see a 1% fraction of success like that, because the minute, it was when Trevor Noah, the news of Trevor Noah's movie was announced, that Lupita was going to play his mom, etc., etc. There were people who hopped on their keyboard warrior woke wagons and said, oh, I can't believe they didn't cast a South African. This is a travesty. Da, da, da. But then a few people rightly said that the minute they cast a South Africans won't go watch it, because South Africans a lot of times aren't interested in their own people. So it makes financial sense to cast international cast, because then people will go watch it. It's not the South African industry is growing very fast. There's a lot of good quality movies being released and series and things like that, and a lot of international movies are being shot here. But I think we are about 10 years, maybe 10 years away, maybe 5 years away from really not needing that American influence, which is irritating for me as well, to stand alone and be on its own. Maybe you can point to something like Chappie, that was original and fresh and South African branded, but the antwoord was so vom-inducingly cringeworthy in that movie that you were like, yay, South Africans, and then you're like, did it have to be them? So, yeah, people, the movie industry and the entertainment industry, it's up to you as a consumer to dictate what gets made and what becomes successful. A lot of people tweet, stop making stupid people famous. And that's exactly what you have the power. You might think that you're only one person, but you have the power to change trends and things like that. Kim Kardashian is famous only because people made her famous by sharing her nonsense the whole time and keeping her a topic of conversation. Now she's super famous and rolling in the money. You as a consumer must not forget the power that you have. If you simply don't support an artist or something like that, then eventually that artist will not do well. Like, people go on about Chris Brown and, oh, he's a bad person, da, 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 da. But someone's listening to his music, someone's buying his music. The same thing with Kanye West when he was causing all this controversy. People are still consuming this stuff, so they will always. You can complain about something, but if you keep on consuming it, that something is not going to go away. That's the TLDR of this vlog. And I'm watching the clock because I don't want to go over. So be circumspect over what you consume. Try to, in a year, try to go see a few local bands play. Maybe go to a local stage play. Go watch a local movie. I myself need to do this a bit more. I obviously watch local bands play because I am a local band, so I see other bands play and I support other bands when they do play. But with movies and things like that, we can all do better. The more we invest in the local industry, the better it will become. I don't think we get that. So let's try to do that. Let's be better people and let's not suck.